So the first most notable key main reason in favor of an iPhone XR in 2025 is going to be the software and security this phone currently still supports, which is the newest iOS 18.3.1. This is the most current Apple mobile software at the time of filming this video. Same software that the newest iPhones are currently running and compatible with. With this, you'll also be utilizing the newest, most current security patches and updates as well, making this phone secure for online banking, social media, and any other average modern-day online smartphone usage scenarios. Currently, iOS 18 is the 7th major update that the iPhone XR has received, making it one of the longest officially supported iPhones in Apple's history. On the XR now running iOS 18.3.1, you're going to get all the stable iOS 18 features like dark icons, home screen customization, with the ability to place apps anywhere on the grid, with redesigned control center and customized app shortcuts on the lock screen, as well as the ability to lock apps with Face ID. In previous comparisons to how Apple will hold back certain newer features for their older, still supported iPhones, the XR really comes with a lot when compared to the new ones and the features they support, especially for a phone of its age. Some newer features that the XR won't be getting on the most current iOS are live transcription and notes, as well as eye tracking, which is only for the iPhone 12 and newer. Another notable key feature that won't be usable on iPhone XR even with the newest iOS will be Apple Intelligence and its advanced Siri with ChatGPT integration. This requires a lot of processing power that the XR would not be able to support and is currently only available on the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max or higher. Now, usually older iPhones with new software will be laggy or glitchy, but for the most part, the iPhone XR on iOS 18 really seems stable and quite smooth, and I haven't personally noticed any notable glitching aside from obvious speed comparisons to what you would be getting with the newest iPhones, having better hardware and being more able to handle the demands of the most current iOS in certain usage case scenarios. Now, the caveat to all this is how long will the most current software be supported, leading to the question of how long will Apple officially support the iPhone XR. Seeing as the device is from 2018, we're doing pretty good so far in terms of software and security support, but obviously that's not going to last forever. One thing I've noticed over the years is it's usually mainly the processor which determines how long an iPhone will be supported by Apple for software updates. The XR having an A12 Bionic chip definitely helped in keeping it compatible and able to run iOS 18 with a lot of the same features that the newer iPhones come with and currently support. This is really good news because this could mean that the more powerful the processors continue to get on Apple's newer devices, the longer these devices could potentially be supported for, hopefully ranging even longer than 7 years in regards to software and security updates. This being said, it's very hard to predict exactly when Apple will officially end its software and security support for the iPhone XR, but personally, I would estimate likely 1 to 2 years more of fully supported usage on the iPhone XR in 2025 from the time of filming this video. This is of course unless iOS 19 comes out sooner and has stronger hardware requirements than the iPhone XR can handle. Generally, this phone may even get iOS 19 with certain performance-based key features missing, but that's hard to say, so definitely something to keep in mind if longevity for security and software support is something that's important to you. Now, whether you're looking for the cheapest, most up-to-date iPhone falling in the category of a budget iPhone or just a temporary device in between devices, another key factor in favor of an iPhone XR in 2025 is going to be the price. Right now here in Canada, an iPhone XR on Facebook Marketplace is averaging anywhere from $150 to $230 Canadian, with varying specs and battery health, of course, which is phenomenal for an iPhone that is officially supported by Apple. For those that may be thinking to purchase one and change the battery, Apple is currently charging $89 US to replace the battery on an out-of-warranty iPhone XR, which will translate to the Canadian equivalent in currency for those of you here in Canada. This means that you could potentially find a good quality iPhone XR for $150 to $200 Canadian and get the battery replaced at Apple, and you'd have a fully supported device with 100% battery health for approximately $300 Canadian all in. For those of you looking for a budget iOS device that's reliable in regards to battery determined performance, this would be a really good way to go. Now I'm going to briefly touch on the camera, and for the average user, I thought a really good way to go about this would be to compare the video recording quality from an iPhone XR versus an iPhone 16 Pro Max. Both phones are recording at 4K 30 frames per second, but the difference isn't instantly noticeable, especially in low light. I did this at night because in most scenarios, recording in low light is always a challenge for smartphones. The iPhone XR's single 12 megapixel sensor does a decent job in well-lit environments, producing natural colors and smooth video, but it lacks night mode and advanced AI processing. As a result, in darker conditions, details may appear softer, shadows are noisier, and dynamic range is a little limited in comparison to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But I mean, on average, if you look at the two, it's actually really comparable, and I'm kind of shocked at how well the iPhone XR did in this comparison. Now, the 16 Pro Max in this comparison benefited from the larger sensor with better light capture and smart HDR5, allowing it to maintain sharper details and improved exposure balance in challenging lighting conditions. But I mean, that being said, the iPhone XR still records stabilized video with smart HDR and shoots in true 4K, making it a great option for casual users that don't need the pro performance of, let's say, the flagship 16 Pro Max. Touching on ProRes and these advanced features, the best way to say it is if low light recording, cinematic video features, or ProRes capabilities are genuinely important to you, then the iPhone 16 Pro Max is miles ahead. Ultimately, if you're using the iPhone XR in 2025, its video recording is still perfectly usable for social media, vlogging, or general content creation, just as long as you're aware of its limitations in, let's say, darker environments. Here it kind of gets a little bit easier to see what I mean in terms of difference in daylight or well-lit environments, which is, I mean, not too much different other than the iPhone 16 Pro Max's ability to maybe capture colors in a touch truer form. But I mean, all in all, just looking at them side by side, very comparable. And I mean, the XR definitely holds its own in this comparison, at least. Really not too much of a difference if you look at the contrast and the colors, maybe slightly in sharpness and brightness if you really look closely, but I mean, looks pretty similar. I'm actually really impressed. So all in all, if you need a budget-friendly iPhone with Face ID, big screen, decent performance, up-to-date security and software, the XR may be an option for you if you don't mind that software and security expiring soon. I tried to cover as much information as I possibly could within the time that my B-roll footage would allow, but I mean, all in all, I really hope this video helps someone make an informed decision. Tried my best to give some real-world usage examples in this video while I covered the key points so that you could kind of get an idea of what to expect actually using the phone on iOS 18.3.1 in 2025. Really curious to know if you would personally still use an iPhone XR in 2025. Definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I really appreciate all the support. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.